Top Talkers, everybody. We're going to talk about the budget, of course. Jim Flaherty's fifth installment of the Economic Action Plan series that he has created in his response to the global economic meltdown, his eighth budget overall. Joining us this morning, Graham Richardson is here from CTV News. Also, Dean Roberts is here from the Team 1200. John Brenner from CFRA. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Morning, Curtis.
Yesterday, you're one of the first people to report on the budget here in the Ottawa area. Tell me your thoughts immediately when it came down, Graham.
I'm going to steal from Craig Oliver like I did last night, and he said it's the almost Seinfeld budget. It was almost about nothing. So we have little tinkerings here and there, which are bright, shiny objects that lots of people like me, because I'm a hockey parent, are going to pay attention to, right?
Right.
But what did Mr. Flaherty really do yesterday? He kind of stayed the course. And in a couple of days, the average folks out there who don't pay close attention to politics will have forgotten all of it. I think it's interesting, certain things that he's doing, signaling that they are going to try to get parity with the public sector sick leave and the private sector sick leave, which is a massive, massive thing to do in this town. So that's a very, very big piece. But the only thing in the budget is language about negotiations, because they've got to go through with it. But I think public servants are paying very, very close attention to it.
I know Dean Roberts liked the language of the reduction of tariffs on things like hockey gear and sporting equipment, right?
Yeah, especially the golf stuff, Curtis.
Exactly.
I think you and I have been known to go to a few different websites in the U.S. and order a few things.
I'm waiting for a package right now.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And this will make it more competitive for the Canadian retailer, not just the biggies like Golf Town, but all kinds of different golf shops. And I like to spend my money here when I can, really.
Yeah, exactly. That's important to a lot of people. John, there's no no new tax angle to this for the general public, but they can be affected by a number of things in this budget in a roundabout way.
Well, I think the one thing that's going to be noticed by more people and the working people is the job grant program. That's the one. That's the one to turn the head for me, because what's happened here is that the money, it's not so much as new money, but it's better allocation of money. And even the Canadian Federation of Independent Business said that up till now the programs that we've seen have not been effective because they haven't been doing what's required, and that is to get people trained to do things that employers need them to do.
Graham, are the provinces going to go along with this, because they have to chip in on this? There's $5,000 from the provinces or territories and from employers, right?
Right. So this is getting into that very sleepy issue of provincial federal jurisdiction that a lot of people go to sleep over, but it's very, very important, because particularly when you're talking about Quebec, you're talking about jurisdiction, and that's a whole other matter. So I think that everybody wants to address the shortage of skills in the country. That's a very big problem that they have pointed out in the budget. And I think you would think that the provinces wouldn't care as long as it gets done. So are they going to buy in? I think some will and some won't.
A lot of provinces are already saying, the federal government is not going to tell us how to allocate our job creation funds. Right.
Is there friction between the two still in most provinces?
I wouldn't say in most in certain areas there's a lot of debate.
And it's not just Quebec. You take a look at the western provinces on the pipeline, on royalties, who gets what, and that sort of thing. So there's always going to be that kind of tension.
It's interesting when you look at the provinces, fellas. Seriously, the provinces love to get their federal transfer payments, right? But then they don't want to be told what to do with the money sometimes, and there is a bit of debate.
In the Constitution, they are responsible for X, Y, and Z. And,
What about, I found interesting one of the items, a little item in there about making charitable donations. So you get a healthy tax break, 25%, I believe it is, in your first, as a young person maybe, in your first charitable donation. And by first, we mean if you haven't made a charitable donation that you've claimed since 2007.
It's really interesting because it's small measure, but it's, again, a bright, shiny object that, that's a neat idea that people like us pay attention to and we report and talk about, which is, and I'm not suggesting it's a bad idea at all, but it's one of those, with a budget with hundreds of billions of dollars and with a multi-billion-dollar deficit, it's very interesting that we're talking about golf clubs and we're talking about first-class donations and baby clothes,
baby clothes and charitable donations.
Which is the success of this government, the success of Mr. Harper and Mr. Flaherty, to highlight certain things that get people's attention.
But the success of this government and this budget and budgets that follow and precede it will be based on, I think, the balancing of the budget heading into the next federal election.
Yeah, and I think it's the sales job that gets done between budgets, and like a hit or a record that you hope is going to be a hit. The minister's going on tour now, and he'll start on the West Coast and try to convince the masses, the people that he wants to support his blueprint, that what's on paper is going to work. Is
he bringing his economic action plan shoes with him?
That's what I want to know.
But it's a short one too. I think he's going to Asia. He's not doing the full. He's not doing the full summer tour like Bon Jovi. I mean, he's going to Asia, so others will probably go out and do that.
I'm sure you'll have reaction and more tonight at 6 o'clock. We'll look forward to that, fellas. Have a nice weekend.
You too,
Thanks for your thoughts today.